What's up, YouTube? It's Nox, and today we're going to be watching the most painful zookeeper deaths ever. Now, this is going to be an interesting one, alright? Let's get in it. Pause. Let's get the video started. And also, real quick, shout out to Talking Hat. Thank you for letting me watch your video. I appreciate you. Let's get into the video.
The Crush incident. It was supposed to be the trip of a lifetime. A married couple from New Jersey traveled to Zambia for a safari.
Zambia?
It was a chance
Never
to
heard
see
of that.
the wild up close, to experience Africa's rivers and its wildlife in their most natural form. But
Okay.
unfortunately, nature has no script. And in
Wow.
an instant, paradise turned into pure horror. The couple
Damn.
joined a group boat traveling down the Zambezi River.
Mhm.
The water looked calm, and the banks were filled with life by the singing of birds. Buffaloes, waterbucks, and eagles were just some of the absolutely gorgeous animals they were able to see. Then, without warning, the boat was struck. By what? you
What?
ask? Well, they didn't know, but it was something that rammed the boat so powerfully that its impact capsized the vessel. All of the tourists were thrown out of the boat into the water in pure confusion.
Wow.
Then that's when they saw it. An 8,800-pound hippo, one of the deadliest animals in Africa, sat there in the water, glaring menacingly at each tourist.
Damn, a hippo, bro. I heard that their jaws are like hella strong. Like it can bite through anything, bro. Oh my gosh. If you die to a hippo, that's gotta be like one of the most painful deaths ever.
But it wasn't just sitting and doing nothing. As it arose out of the water, it revealed that it was carrying the man's wife in its mouth. Amidst all the chaos of the
Wow.
boat flipping over, he didn't notice when she went missing. Her head and torso were trapped between the hippo's jaws, and she struggled to escape. But, instantaneously, it snapped its mouth down, crushing her head and torso like it was nothing. The tourists
my
broke
God.
out into a full-on frenzy to escape for their lives.
R.I.P.
Meanwhile, the hippo thrashed the woman's body carelessly in the water, leaving absolutely no chance of survival for the poor 70-year-old woman. The safari guides meant to protect the people also fled in a panic, despite being armed. Her husband survived and watched helplessly as his wife of decades was
Bro, I feel so bad, bro. I hate when stuff like this happens. Like your partner dies. Like this just ruins your like the rest of your life, bro. That's so sad.
before his eyes. He escaped with his life, but back home, grief turned into anger. The man later filed a lawsuit against the safari tour operator, arguing that
Good.
negligence and poor safety measures left his wife vulnerable in one of the most dangerous waterways on Earth. But lawsuits don't bring closure. They don't erase the image of the river, the overturned boat, or the hippo that ended it all. It's important that tour operators prioritize safety. Choosing thrill over precaution puts lives at unnecessary risk and causes irreparable damage. When companies like these fail to respect nature's boundaries and defend the human lives they swore to protect, it's important that they're held accountable. Bears versus bears. The Belgrade Zoo was never meant to be a crime scene, but during the city's annual festival, the line between celebration and catastrophe vanished. A 23-year-old drinking one too many beverages would begin enjoying himself a little too much at the festival. As he walked around the zoo, intoxicated, he would stumble across a bear enclosure. The man would look left and look right and see that nobody was watching. For him, he was set on making his festival a whole lot more awesome. He decided to climb into the bear exhibit and to act like a hooligan for a bit. As he finished his
Idiot,
shenanigans
bro.
and got ready to leave the enclosure, Masha and Misha, two massive brown bears, approached him. You could probably already guess what happened to the man at this point, but to tell you
Wow.
anyways, one of the bears swiped at his face with a force so powerful that it obliterated it. The man panicked, but without a second to waste, the bears quickly attacked him. By the time zookeepers stumbled across the bear enclosure,
Bro, no matter how much of a dickhead someone is, bro, they don't deserve to die, bro. R.I.P.
they confusingly found the man's clothes laying neatly to one side. Upon further investigation, they were horrified when they found the two bears in their feeding corner devouring half of the man's body together. The zoo staff tried to recover what was left of his body, but the bears fought viciously to
Crunching
protect their
sounds was
grim
not
pride.
necessary, bro.
After the incident, investigators pieced together what happened. Scattered inside the cage were beer cans, stones, bricks, and even discarded mobile phones. The conclusion was grimly obvious. The man likely had too much to drink and climbed into the enclosure during the festival. The zoo's director put it bluntly. It must be that, because only an idiot would jump into the bear cage. For the man, sadly his night of drinking ended not with, but rather with fangs and claws. Drink or no drink, don't climb into cages. The flattening incident. On January 14th, 2011, a 33-year-old elephant handler was going through routine training with Edie, a 26-year-old 8,000-pound African elephant. The animal had been taught to respond to commands, to shift when directed, to walk when told. Which, honestly, giving an elephant commands like it's a little puppy dog is actually pretty cute. But the only difference between a puppy and a 4-ton elephant is...
how much it weighs.
4 tons. And when you're dealing with those 4 tons inside of a narrow stall full of steel bars...
no way.
There is no room for error.
Bro, I just realized what the title was. She gets crushed by an elephant, bro?
Receiving a command, Edie shifted her massive body backwards. But, inconveniently enough, the woman was suddenly pinned behind the elephant. The gargantuan animal pressed her into the metal bars of the enclosure, trapping her under several tons of force. What was a bit of a minor annoyance quickly transformed into panic when the woman realized that the elephant was still moving backwards. Her face pressed against the steel bars of the stall, and her body began getting crushed between the weight of the elephant and the building.
Oh my god. Oh my god.
Another handler showed up, and upon witnessing the situation, they quickly shouted commands desperately to get the elephant to move. The elephant finally obeyed, but not before flattening the girl against the metal bars. When the elephant walked forward, the woman's body fell to the ground, crushed, flattened, and broken. She was quickly rushed to the hospital, but unfortunately there wasn't much that doctors could do to save her.
Bro.
Zoo officials later called it a tragic accident, saying Edie was simply responding to her training. Experts like Jack Hanna explained it plainly. When something up to 4 tons pushes you against a wall inside tight quarters, you simply just don't have a chance. 39. On a warm sunny morning in 2005, what began as a peaceful visit to see an old family companion turned into one of the most nightmarish animal attacks ever recorded. A married couple were visiting Mo, a chimpanzee they had raised as part of their family for nearly 4 decades. Before this, Mo used to live in their suburban home where they would dress him up like he was a kid. But the chimpanzee would later on be taken to a wildlife sanctuary after being deemed unfit to live in a house amongst humans after he attacked a guest one day.
Wow.
Because of this, the married couple often visited him at the wildlife sanctuary, bringing him cakes and gifts to celebrate his birthdays. On Mo's 39th birthday, they would arrive at the sanctuary with some celebration treats as usual, not realizing that their visit would end in horror.
Wow.
Even though Mo had been labeled the dangerous chimp after the earlier attack that forced him out of his suburban home, shockingly, he wasn't the cause of this disaster.
Really?
While the married couple were giving Mo his birthday treats, 2 other completely random chimpanzees escaped their enclosures. And as you would guess, these chimps were not friendly. They launched a frenzied attack on the man, mauling him with unimaginable savagery. An adult male chimp weighs about 100 to 130 pounds, but they're able to pull up to 1,200 pounds of weight with their muscular arms. And with that muscle, the chimps would rip off pieces of the man's skull, his eyes, his lips, his eyelids, and 8 of his fingers.
Nah, that's crazy, bro. A chimpanzee can do all that? I'm gonna stay my ass home, bro.
As if that wasn't bad enough, the chimps would continue the rampage by chewing off the man's nose and ripping off some of his balls. His hands and face were so badly damaged that...
Bro, what? Out of everything you rip off his balls?
They were later described as shredded beyond recognition. The wife, desperately trying to protect her husband, was also injured before sanctuary staff intervened and shot the 2 chimps.
Wow.
The sheer brutality of the attack shocked the world, but luckily, the man survived. Doctors said that it was a complete miracle, as his injuries were beyond what most humans could endure. The incident became infamous, not just because of its horrificness, but because of the controversy it raised. If Mo hadn't been removed from the married couple's house, they wouldn't have needed to go to the wildlife exhibit to see their chimp, which means they would have never been attacked. But at the same time, the attack they experienced showcased the unpredictability, dangerousness, and brutality of chimpanzees. And for them to have had one inside of their house while inviting guests over made some individuals turn their fixation to them instead.
They could have another
to whoever's at fault, it's your opinion to make. But one thing is for sure. These are wild animals. Wild. They can't be domesticated, nor can they be reasoned with. But, as humans, we can still show them love and give them the respect and space they need to live out a full, healthy, and happy life without endangering any of the other lives around us.
Hey, great video, man. I enjoyed that video too, bro. A talking hat Amazing channel, bro. I love your content. Alright, YouTube, well, that's gonna be the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Drop a like and subscribe down below. It's Knox out.